Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this hearing to examine government transparency during the week in which we are promoting open and transparent government Sunshine Week. Nothing holds the government more accountable than making its actions open and transparent to the American taxpayer. Transparency is the lifeblood of an informed democracy. Essential to this precept is the Freedom of Information Act, which gives the public a tool to gain insight into how their government functions. FOIA's promise of openness is central to this committee's mission of increasing transparency throughout the Federal Government. It isn't hard to make a FOIA request, but navigating the FOIA process is complicated and it varies across government agencies. In responding to a FOIA request, each agency has its own set of standards, which may or may not be updated to reflect current law. The FOIA law requires documents to be released unless those documents fall into the exemptions outlined in the statute. In large part, FOIA's efficacy is limited by the responsiveness of the agency that receives and processes the request. It's our job here in Congress to ensure agencies are following the law when it comes to FOIA. Congress intended for FOIA to increase accountability by giving taxpayers a view into the inner workings of their government. FOIA compliance has not come easily for many agencies. Issues with agency FOIA compliance did not begin, though, during the Trump administration. Although President Obama pledged to have the most transparent administration in history, his administration had several notable FOIA-related problems. Under President Obama, agencies changed FOIA regulations, implemented new policies, abused the exemptions, refused to produce responsive records, and struggled with overall FOIA compliance. The Trump administration has received an unprecedented number of FOIA requests. This is important. The numbers have went up for the Trump administration. A major reason for the increases at EPA and other agencies is that former Obama and Clinton staffers, acting under the guise of being transparency organizations, are being paid by the Tom Steyers of the world to harass the executive branch now that it is in Republican control. For example, American Oversight, which is led by Austin Evers, who oversaw FOIA-related matters at the State Department under President Obama, admits on its website, and I quote, is filling FOIA and lawsuits that mirror the document requests sent by the chairs and ranking members of key congressional committees. With the House of Representatives poised to begin conducting aggressive oversight, we will be able to go to court to force the release of these records, close quote. During fiscal year 2017, according to the Office of Information Policy, the government received a record high of over 818,000 FOIA requests. Even with this unprecedented level of requests, many agencies reduced their FOIA backlogs. According to OIP, even those agencies who did report an increase in their FOIA request backlog made impressive efforts to increase the number of requests processed. Nonetheless, it is an important duty for Congress to ensure that when it comes to FOIA, agencies are following the law. I want to thank our panel of witnesses for being here today, and I look forward to hearing from all of you about your experiences with FOIA, the efforts your agencies are making to comply with the spirit of our law, and any suggestions you might have to ensure disclosure of information is timely, accurate, and routine. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.